Hey guys, Sam Luce here with Safari Pedals. Today I want to show you a brand new plugin. This is Cobra Fuzz. Now Cobra Fuzz is not just a one sound fuzz box. There's so many different sounds within this. 4 different gain settings and they're all discrete. 4 different types of gain sounds. Sustain to add in some more signal into that gain circuit. You've got a pre-boost which is going to stick a load more of the signal into that gain. You've got a tone so you can darken things down or brighten things up. A blend so you can work in parallel. Oversampling. Width to really widen things out, and an output trim to make sure you're not making things quieter when they're on the way out. Let's just check out some of the tones we can get from this plugin. First off, I just want to show you it on some drums, and we're going to kind of explore the controls a little bit. So we've got 4 different gain settings, and this isn't just gain, a bit more gain, a bit more and a bit more. These are 4 discrete settings. These are 4 very different sounding settings. Then we've got the sustain, which is going to alter the amount of your signal that's getting fuzzed up. We've got the on-off switch, as you'd expect. We've got output trim to get a little bit of that signal back if you've chopped off the peaks. We've got a pre-boost, which is going to add a load more signal into the fuzz, which is going to just get you more fuzz. Then we've got tone, which, as you'd expect, to the left is going to give you a darker sound. To the right is going to be a real aggressive, high-end, heavy sound. Then we've got a blend as well, so you can bring in just a little bit in parallel. We've got width, we've got oversampling. Let's just jump in. Here's some drums. So 4 very different gain sounds there, and the sustain is going to affect how much you're actually kind of pushing into that gain circuit. With these drums, it's really crunching things up, but it's also great for a load of different instruments. I want to play you a synth here, which I'm just adding kind of some subtle edge to. So here it is without first, and you'll hear that it sounds great, but I just want to add a little bit more bite to it. And this is the kind of other end of the spectrum of the plugin. This is the low gain, just grindy stuff, a little bit of an edge to the sound. Or with that, we can go for the pre-boost and we can really shove a load of signal up into it. Now this is a real heavy, hard-hitting track, as you heard at the beginning, and I've got the fuzz on a bass, but I've got it in parallel, so I've got just my normal bass amp here on its own. And then here, as I bring that fuzz in, it's just adding a load more edge to the sound, and you can just blend that in as much as you like. Here it is for the whole track. Now there's some vocals going on here, and these are just some screams. Now, I played in a metal band for a lot of years. My screaming voice is kind of a little bit out of practice, so I'm going to play you it with no effects on. It sounds kind of weak, but then I bring the fuzz in and it just takes it to another world. So first of all, without it on, not great. Now with fuzz, just instant metal vocals. And when you bring that into the rest of the mix, you're going to hear what difference it makes. It just adds that edge to it, and I've got this at full-blown distortion, so it's really fuzzing the signal up. Sustain all the way, gain on the 4th setting, which has got like a real aggressive kind of high-end grind to it. Pre-boost is on, so I'm shoving a load more signal into it, and the tone is all the way up. The blend's all the way up as well, so we're just completely fuzzing out here. Now, oversampling is an interesting one because typically people think of oversampling as being, you know, a real good, pristine kind of thing. But sometimes when you're dealing with fuzz, when you're dealing with really destroying a signal, you don't necessarily want that on. So if you want something a touch more pristine and correct, then maybe oversampling is going to be for you, but you might not need it. Sometimes the way to go is the wrong way. Sometimes you just want to dirty that signal up. And I've actually even got Cobra Fuzz on a low amount of blend on the main mix bus here. So everything is going through fuzz in different stages on the channels, but it's also going through it on the main bus. Just take a listen to the character this adds. Adds a real element of top end grind and some real crunch there. You can blend that in as much as you want. If you think that's too much and it's chopping things off too much, just bring that blend down and you're going to get a little bit more of the transient information back, a little bit more of the low end punch is going to come back in. And you've got a width as well, so you can really spread this out or narrow it in depending on what your taste is. Now on the snare, this is a great way of actually hearing the different kinds of gains that you've got on there. 4 different settings, and they've each got a different tonal characteristic, so just check them out and how they're altering the sound. I've got these on my guitars as well, just before they're going into an amp sim, and it's just adding a bit more pick attack, just adding a little bit more aggression, a little bit more grind. Just take a listen before and after. Just adding a little bit more crunch going into the amp. There's so much you can do with this plugin. It's not just a fuzz, it's an aggression box. It's for adding some subtle character if you want it, or you can go full blown and just add some real harshness to a signal. It's going to work great on drums for just crunching things down. On a bass guitar, you can add it in parallel and just add an extra fuzz channel. On guitars, it's going to bring out some pick, and on vocals, as we saw, it's just a metal vocal machine. You can check it out now at safaripedals.com or as part of the Everything bundle. I'll see you again soon. Take care.